And we're back with another episode of Step Up Your Game Day. I'm A.M. Grabelny, one of your hosts, joined by James Spencer, your other host, and a wonderful special guest, Mike Fiedler. We're going to do a round of intros. James, start with you. Who are you? What do you do?
Who am I? That's like, isn't that like I need to ask a yogi that or something? No, I'm James Spencer. I'm a solutions architect with the partner team, and yeah, we're here to play more games. I got my game day shirt on again from reInvent last year. I am ready to go. And Mike, who are you?
Hi, I'm Mike Fiedler. I do not work for AWS. I'm out here outside the beast, but I am an AWS hero. Had been since 2018, which is an excellent program to kind of navigate the complexities of AWS from the outside and engage with the partner teams and other teams internally. Coming to you out of New York City, where it is a balmy 65 degrees today.
Wonderful,
Nice.
Wonderful. I've got your banner that I made you before the episode. Painstakingly bespoke banner that I made just for you, Mike, flashing across the bottom of the screen here.
Yeah, thank you so much. The efforts will not go unnoticed in your review.
It took me like, at least 5 minutes, so it's got to count for something. Yeah, please, could you send a note to my manager? I'm just kidding. So we are going to be playing another game day here, and we've got Mike here to help us, which before we get into the actual game we'll be playing today, many of you might be tuning in and going, what is game day? That's okay. We're going to tell you what it is. Game day is a fun kind of hands-on experience. You actually get an AWS account provisioned for you. You don't have to bring your own account. And a bunch of challenges get deployed to this account that you got to go solve. And things might actively happen while you're playing. It's pretty interesting. We're going to see it, obviously, when we play today. Right now, the way that you would play a game day is these happen at a lot of the AWS events themselves. So summits, reInvent type things. We're working for the future to start bringing you more opportunities to play game day. If you've got a place that you want to see game days played, I'll pose this question to you too, Mike. Where would you like to play a game day? I'm thinking, for example, I want to start getting game days at some more meetups and places like that. Any suggestions from you before we dive more in?
Yeah, I think that any city that has an AWS loft in it might be a really good opportunity to have kind of a game day evening meetup after work, or kind of that opportunity. And hopefully AWS lofts will expand into more cities and provide more opportunities there.
Yeah, I think it's still in the works, but we might be, so stay tuned, having a game day at one of the lofts, actually. So great suggestion, Mike. It's like you read my mind. That was not planned, by the way.
And to be clear, not much has been planned here, right? Like AM and James kind of know what the game day structure is. I've avoided researching anything about it, so that way I can leverage a lot of assistance from our attendees in the chats on LinkedIn, Twitch, Twitter, etc. So send in your comments and help us navigate, because I know a little bit about some of these services, but this is going to be fun.
Totally. That goes back to the platforms that we're on as well. Mike mentioned we're live with you right now across LinkedIn, Twitter, and Twitch. I've got chats pulled up. We want you helping us out, right? So if you see some solutions that we are just not catching on, put it in the chat. Put it in chat. Help us solve these problems.
Yeah. And I see that a lot of folks are commenting, and we're seeing folks attending from Mozambique, Romania, Rwanda, India, Brazil, Uzbekistan, all over the world. This is really an excellent way to kind of engage with more folks. So thank you for coming along for this crazy ride.
It will be definitely pretty wild because, again, Mike said he's never played a game day. He hasn't played this game day specifically. And more importantly, Mike actually went out of his way to get us to put together one of the quests that didn't feature any services that he's really that familiar with either. So we've got some introducing to do of our quest, right? Shall we just jump in, Mike?
So, I mean, for those of us who haven't done a game day before, the game days are structured around some sort of like universe, right? So maybe we should intro the universe we're operating in.
And you were too good. James usually handles this because I don't dislike it. Don't get me wrong. But I am not as steeped into the lore of the game day backstory as James is. A lot of featured unicorn lore here, right?
Oh yeah.
Take it away, James.
Yeah. No, we're all about the unicorns. So, all right, we can do the quick one. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Unicorn Rentals. We're happy to have you on. Everything is broken. Everyone's on vacation. We're going to pay you nothing. You're going to have the privilege of working for Unicorn Rentals to help fix all of our infrastructure. And your payment is the fun of hanging out with us and points. You know, who doesn't want points? Right? So in this case, our unicorns need to eat their mana, and we need to process their mana in the game day that we're going to be working on. And we're going to be processing it using a couple different services. I don't know if I'm supposed to reveal them yet, so I don't think I will. I'll leave that up to AM. But that is the long and short of Unicorn Rentals.
Yeah.
So Unicorn Rentals. So I'm guessing this is some service where people can rent unicorns. And then we presumably, because unicorns are living, not only magical, but they also are alive, we have to feed them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have to figure out how much to feed them, I'm guessing.
We actually, we need to, so we mine their mana from different planets, and then we actually take the mana and we need to process it. And part of that processing, you know, we need to refine it, get rid of some of the junk, make sure that they're not eating a bunch of trash, because if we don't have happy unicorns, we don't have happy customers, which means my bank account is not happy. So we need to get on that.
Got it. Yeah.
Hey, Mike, before we move on, we had somebody graciously from chat drop in the event that I was talking about. I didn't know if it was public yet or not. It should be relevant to you too. I wanted to say this, but it's a Mongo event. So
wow, this is very cool. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be in the San Francisco loft anytime soon, being over here on the East Coast, but that's really cool. You know, back when I worked for MongoDB, we always did look out for opportunities to engage with the wider community, and it looks like partnering with AWS GameDay is a great opportunity for that. So thank you, Harlem Blues.
There we go. Yeah, thank you to chat. That's going to be a fun event. Be sure to go sign up if you can make it out to the SF Loft. All right. I'm going to pull up. A lot of this gets explained when you actually see the game day console itself, right? So James mentioned points. Mike, for the next hour and a half, however long we're live doing this, points are your life.
Okay, I need points.
Yeah, you need points to live. So we're going to have what happens here. We're going to have score events. All right. So we're going to get registered when we do good things or we do bad things. We're going to have scores appear here. So they can be both. Oh, go ahead.
Will scores be reducted or reduced if we make mistakes?
Yes, they will. Yeah, it's going to be tough because sometimes scores can be negative.
So in another game day scenario, if I was playing at the game day event, I'd be on a team. So let's say the three of us would be a team, and we would want to score higher than the next team over in order to win the game day, right?
That's right, because there is a scoreboard. And luckily, Mike, we are ranked number 1.
We're number 1.
Yeah.
We're number 1.
Pressure's off. We already won, boys.
Yeah, that's it. It seems like we did it, gang.
Pack it up. Let's go.
No, we didn't win because we're not playing against anyone. So, but yes, Mike, to your point, when you are live playing with a team, there will be other teams playing against you, and the scores will be dynamically updating there. We can actually go and check in as we both accrue and lose points, which we almost certainly will. Anyway.
Hey, AM, I got a hot tip. For anyone who does do a game day, that scoring event feed, if you're stuck or you don't know what to do next, that can actually, kind of kick you in the right direction because, if you're losing points for something, that might indicate that's what you need to start, working on. So it's not just for, your point viewage, but it can actually, put you in the right direction if you're just ripping your hair out and you don't know what to try next. You say, oh, that thing, maybe I should try this thing, kind of thing.
You're saying the score events page, not the scoreboard, because I'm looking at the scoreboard and seeing my numbers start ranking lower and lower. Like, I don't know what to do there. But you're saying the score events.
The scoreboard also tells you what to do, Mike. Score more points.
Score more points.
That's the best strategy that we can give you over all of them. Anyway, I want to click the start quest button because it takes a minute to go deploy the quest itself. But before we did, I wanted to highlight the services that we're going to be playing with today. We've got EMR Studio, EMR Serverless, S3, EventBridge, and Lambda. So for me personally, some things that are familiar and some things that aren't. What about you, Mike?
So I'm looking at the list, and I think I've had plenty of exposure to S3, but again, depending on how deep we go into the S3 universe and Lambda functions, it'll be interesting to see kind of what features or what capabilities we'll want to exercise. I don't think I've used EMR in any shape or form in at least 3 years. So this will be a relearning. I'm also noticing on the right-hand side, it says the difficulty is ranked 4 out of 5. And I'm like, have I bitten off more than I should chew here? This is, uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right. James, how about you? Are you familiar with any of these things?
I might be.
Okay. I'm going to click start while we talk.
No, yeah, please do. Just not for me, not for me. I'm doing this as a service to, everyone watching. Elastic MapReduce. What the heck does that mean? Why do we call it that? Does anyone know?
I think that's a marketing decision, but if we were to distill the notion down to what is MapReduce, MapReduce is far, don't quote me on this, look it up on Wikipedia, but it's the notion of taking large amounts of data, mapping to different workers, right? So splitting it up amongst different workers, so that way each worker will kind of use a piece of that, the overall, and then reduce is to bring back all those results into the kind of final solution. So it's a way to parallelize processing across lots. And if we tack on the word elastic to it, it's okay, we don't need to pre-provision a certain amount of compute in order to accomplish that. Back in our high compute data center days, you would have to buy, rack, turn on, provision hundreds of servers in order to accomplish high performance computing questions and answers. Now with AWS EMR, I believe we can just do it serverlessly and auto provision and scale elastically.
Yeah, I think too. And again, I could be wrong here. I've been wrong many times in my life and will continue to be wrong for most of my life. But the map and reduce also refer back to more in programming languages. There are typically functions called map and then a function called reduce that you use to work with arrays, right? And so map, when you're working with arrays, it copies that data, right? It's hey, we're going to take all the elements in this array and shove it through a function. And on the other side, you're going to have every single, if you did anything with it. And then reduce does the opposite of that, right? Reduce lets you filter out things typically from an array, I think.
Yeah, I think you'd probably have to ask somebody who is like a mathematical
Yeah.
purist on the like exact definition, or just look up docs on any popular programming language for those kind of functions. And you'll get the definition clear, but you can also get a pretty good description of Elastic MapReduce on the Elastic MapReduce product page. But again, I have avoided looking that up because like, let's discover if I'm the new hire at Unicorn Rentals and suddenly I have to fix it, I'm in the same boat as anyone else who doesn't know what's going on.
You're really leaning into the lore here. I think you're going to be challenging James for the lore keeper of Unicorn Rentals by the end of this. I love it. We're getting a lot of highs from a lot of different places from LinkedIn. We're getting some. Mike, I gotta highlight this. Look at this. You paid somebody really well in chat to really compliment you. Wikipedia
thanks, Harlem Blues again. That's really, really kind.
I hope that wasn't too expensive.
Yeah.
Venmo, click. I think again to kind of step back to the definitions, right? There's the purist or mathematical definition, and then there's the practical applicable definition of like, we actually have a task to perform, so here's a tool we're going to use to kind of solve this problem.
Yes, exactly. And we're going to see that specifically with EMR Serverless too, which is a great way. I have not avoided spoilers for this quest. I'm like the DM for the game or something. But today, at least, I didn't build this quest. Brian Hopkins actually did on the game day team. So shout out to Brian. Thanks,
Brian.
But we'll be using EMR Serverless to maybe do some stuff with Python scripts.
Yay!
Yeah,
which
Python.
I knew it appeals to you, Mike. Anyway, so. Remember, as we go through this quest, please put in some steps to help us solve this. I've got LinkedIn pulled up. I've got Twitch pulled up. So if you see some areas that we should investigate, Mike is about to learn that one of the key pieces, our tip number one that we give usually when we do this show, James and I, reading comprehension is very important for playing a quest with AWS GameDay, because as you can already see, there's a lot of text on the screen, right, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I think that again, if English isn't your first language, right, then reading comprehension is important in any kind of facet that you're going to have to take another moment. I think that also speaks to as native English speakers, when we're writing documentation or pages, to consider who's reading it and kind of like if there's ways we can simplify or take out unnecessary information, then that kind of encourages comprehension a little better. I'm already seeing on the thing, welcome new hires. Yes, this is very much putting me in the mindset of I am a new hire at Unicorn Rentals. I don't know anything. So like a good kind of framing. So yeah, I think it's something gotta read every word, because there might be some hidden meaning.
That's right. Yeah. Oftentimes Quest developers will put in little tips. Sometimes they'll do it like we saw in our last quest, the Kornhoff translator. They put in a quote that when you copied and pasted into a search engine, actually came up with the service that solved the challenge. So there'll be things like that sprinkled throughout. Also, Mike, very interesting you bring up localization and other languages and things like that. It's a big project ongoing right now for Game Day. We're looking to get a bunch of this translated. If you have languages out there, we're making informed decisions right now about what languages to prioritize. But if you have a language you would like Game Day content translated into, please put it in chat. That's information that I can take back to the team and help us prioritize that language above all the languages that we have picked already to start working with. Anyway, moving on. Thank you, James.
No problem.
So we've already got a call out to EMR Studio here in our text, don't we? So we need to process the mining payloads. All right. I don't know what mining payloads are. I guess we'll learn about that. And then we need our supply chain needs to use EMR Studio to somehow add it to that supply chain. Okay.
Does that link to the product page?
Let's click the link. Yes.
Hey, there we go.
EMR Studio. Let me. Here we go.
So EMR Studio provides fully managed Jupyter notebooks and tools such as Spark UI and Yarn Timeline Service to simplify debugging. All right. Seems like it would be a useful tool if we're having trouble.
Yes. Immediately, I am off put because I am neither one of those people, data scientist or analyst. But today we will be, right? Today we're learning how to be, all of us. So, all right, back to this. They created EMR serverless application.
The old hires that sadly sounds like they're not here, or it's 3 a.m. and we need to fix it and they're not on call.
They won the lottery, Mike. Altogether,
they won the lottery.
They had a pool going with all of the engineers at this company, and they all
for
won.
The either the Super Bowl or the World Cup.
Yeah,
and they all won.
They all won at once, and they all quit at the same time. So we here at Unicorn Rentals, we're scrambling a bit. Anyway, we received the delivery of the first mining payload in the below bucket. You'll want to use the EMR Studio as well as the S3 console to start. So, okay, so that means we're going to go in and open EMR and S3, I assume, right?
Yeah,
Shall
probably,
we do that?
right?
Shall we? Let's try it. Let's see. All right, so there's EMR. There's S3. Now, if you were playing at a game day event, you would get a what we call a hash, which is a way that you would log in to the provisioned AWS account that you would use. I'm in my own AWS account here because I deployed it out to my own AWS account, but you would be playing within a controlled environment. So we can actually, I just wanted to call this out because we can actually cheat. What? I have access to everything.
What? No.
I know.
When you say a demo, like a game day account, would the demo account have all access to all the different services that we're going to use and more?
It's a real AWS account. You do have limited access based off of a role that gets deployed to the account and which you federate into the account using. So typically I have because it's my own AWS account, I have super access. Obviously I'm in an admin role right now. But the players would have their own roles scoped to just the serve. So, for example, in this game, you would have access to EMR. You would have access to S3. You probably wouldn't have access to Light Sail, for example, because it wouldn't be something that you'd be working with.
Yeah.
Actually, though, just speaking to that a little bit, things are on guardrails a little bit, but kind of the idea of game day is to I know we kind of laugh at the role playing, but it really is trying to put you in that role of being a new hire thrown in, and you're actually encouraged to try pretty much anything to get things done. There are those guardrails, but you do have access to pretty much any service in the account, within certain limits, obviously, but if you ever get stuck in a game day, the idea is to try anything and then maybe reach out for help, but just be creative to try and solve it, just like you're in that role essentially.
Well, looks like we've got some messages here. EMR notebooks are now available as EMR Studio workspaces. Yeah, I don't know if we're using a studio or a workspace today.
I don't know either. Let's maybe it tells us a bit. It looks like studio, but I don't know what the difference is between studio and workspace, to be honest with you. I found our mining bucket already and I clicked into it. So this is our mining bucket.
There we go.
We've got something called payloads and something called scripts. Okay. We got to calibrate the refiners. That sounds really industrial, actually. I feel like
we'll need to analyze the data to find the pattern.
Okay.
Elements of the payload are represented as text strings, and they're showing us that in the raw image here. The special mana strings we're looking for repeat throughout the files, but the ones we're looking for with magical properties are in the middle of a consistent sequence of inner-outer casing pairs. You need to identify these. There are only 3 pairs, so they should be repeated a lot. We don't recommend downloading them yourself. Everything you need is in your AWS account. I'm guessing this this payload or the overall payloads are going to be pretty big.
Yeah, I think you are right to guess that. Not that I know. Wait, I do. I already told everybody I know. Why would I pretend I didn't?
But I can see like they're showing highlighted of an inner casing starting with C527.
Yes.
And the outer casing starting with A607. And then they haven't highlighted this, but right beneath the outer casing highlighting, it looks like there's another one, C256. So that's not the same one.
No, it's not. But there is another one that starts with C527, but it immediately terminates in the outer casing. So there's no mana there, right? You have to have inner casing, the next string, and an outer casing to have the mana in between. So just finding the inner casing won't be enough, and just finding the outer casing won't be enough. You got to find both and verify that there's something in between them. Right.
And I'm guessing that the C527 might not be the same casing string for us. Like this is an example.
Oh, yeah. That would be too easy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, right. So,
it gives us a, oh, there's a little wink over here too. They're winking at us. Uh-oh. I don't know what that means. But if we want to inspect the files, we can try S3 select, which I'm not familiar with. I also have some background in S3 too, Mike, like you, but I've never used S3 select. Have you?
I think I've used it not directly through the console, but through one of the SDKs. So kind of making API calls. And if memory serves, S3 select was kind of like making an SQL query or a, like if I was looking at an Excel spreadsheet, selecting the column out of a larger set. Oh, there we go. Simple structured query language SQL statements. There we go.
That's interesting. So I think this is saying it's there if you need it. I don't know that we need it yet.
Well, can we take a look at the file?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, let's take
it's
a
under
look at
payloads, right? All right. We got 4 of these things. Okay.
Okay.
We go to actions. It says query with S3 select.
Well, we could try that, or we could just open it.
Oh, I see.
There's a
I see what you're
there's
saying.
an open action in the upper.
Oh,
that's downloading. Okay. So open is actually going to download the file. So they're saying you shouldn't download the file, which in general, like, is a good idea because there could be hundreds of files. This could be gigabytes, petabytes.
Right.
And I don't want to like just download it to my computer, right?
We're already breaking the rules here, Mike. You're already breaking the rule. We just downloaded it and they told us not to.
Yeah. Well, Firefox told you not to also.
It sure did, didn't it? I wonder if we lost any points for that. I don't think we did. I wonder if there have been any score events. No score events yet. All right. All right. We're still holding fast in first place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're learning what we're supposed to be doing. We haven't done anything we're not supposed to be doing yet.
Yes. Correct.
And then they want us to use S3 select. Can we use that on object actions on that page or here?
We could try. All right. So we know it is not CSV. Well, I guess it is.
We don't know. Did it say?
It's not CSV itself, right? But it is like structured in a CSV like. It's not comma separated. It's
CSV is comma separated values.
Right. But it still is like a space delimiter and like multiple lines, right? Just like a CSV file would be.
Yeah, I guess one of the questions that we should ask ourselves are whether casings can, or mana can span multiple lines. No hint, no hint.
This one's free, Mike. So I wanted to show hints though, just to like, if you do get stuck. So for example, need help using S3 select, that's here, but it's going to cost us points. So, but this one is free actually. So maybe we'll come back to it. Mike,
Okay.
Mike said no hints.
Not yet. I don't feel stuck yet, right?
Okay, perfect.
But I did, when you tabbed over to the S3 select, I think I saw an option to say CSV, but also a delimiter. So if you tab back to the S3 console.
Okay. Yeah, you can change tab or custom.
Yeah, I think custom would be space.
It would be a space. I wonder if I could just do.
Can you just type a space?
You can. That is a common delimiter.
Okay.
Yay.
All right. That's input. Output settings. I guess we want it the same, right?
Yeah. No, maybe. I guess, yeah.
Let's select all. Select star, right?
And limit 5. That'll give us the first 5.
We can just run it and see if this gives us
Yeah.
anything. Oh, yeah, it sure does. Look at that.
Look at that.
Okay.
And it took returned 5 records, right? 819 milliseconds, nice, and only 1980 bytes out of the 380,000 bytes this file is. So that's an efficient way of getting only some of the records off of the S3 object. We didn't have to download the entire file. So if it was multiple gigabytes, we'd only get the first 1,980 bytes off of the file, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, this is it's pretty interesting. And there's this raw and formatted view too, which is kind of
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I wonder if the formatted would behave a little differently for comma separated. Would it make it a table?
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, let's go try that. Let's change the output format to a comma and run the query again.
Okay. Why not? Why not? Oh, there we go. Oh no,
no.
Because there's no headers actually. Like think about it. Like CSV file would have that first line be all the headers, right?
Yeah, that was one of the options to exclude the top line header.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
But clearly this one does not have a header because we're getting our weird hashes.
Yeah.
Huh. So now we need to identify what was our job?
Oh, I think we actually already got fired because we weren't doing our job. We were just messing around in F3.
You know what? Sometimes you got to mess around a little bit as part of your job to learn what you're doing.
You're right. There you go. But what are the metrics that you measure yourself on, Mike, as you're I'm just kidding, that you can push up through leadership?
Happiness is definitely an important scoring mechanism. Of
education points, right?
Education points.
The score. Like once we actually get score, we can push those up to our leadership. Like these are our education points.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, leadership does want to measure outcomes, right? They do want to not have all of the unicorns eating bad mana. So
true.
Like that's an outcome we got to measure against. But
I actually think we're taking the mana from the unicorns, technically. James, correct me if I'm wrong here. I don't know the lore of this story, but I believe that we are mining the mana for ourselves because it actually has properties that we need. Kind of like an avatar situation.
Oh no, us? No. We're mining the mana so that we can feed our unicorns. That's like I said.
James,
you don't trust me? Am I wrong? I thought this. I'm pretty sure that's what this was.
Okay, if you say so,
like
I trust you.
What is?
Sam, I sense that you've like tabbed away to like look this up in another window.
Yeah, I was actually checking on chat, but yeah, I wish
I
did have something to go look this up. I don't know. Maybe there is this underpinning of us taking the mana. I hope not. I hope we are feeding the unicorns.
There's a secret dark side to unicorn rentals. Is that what we're trying to say? You know what? Maybe
underbelly, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
you
did say we're getting mana by like strip mining planets. That's not necessarily a good thing. So
that is true.
What happens when we run out of the universe of planets to mine?
I mean, they're always, the universe is infinite, Mike. To calibrate the mana processors, we got to identify those cases.
Yes.
Sorry, moving us along. Our predecessors who won the lottery and are now unemployed, gainfully unemployed, I'll call it. They've already built a tool. Check the scripts prefix in your mana mining bucket for a Python script. Oh, now we're getting into Mike territory here.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right. That can be used to submit EMR serverless jobs.
Okay.
All right. Be sure, that's a hint, to configure a logs destination for your job if you're having trouble. I guess because we would be executing the script on the Elastic MapReduce cluster, we wouldn't be running it interactively. We want the logs from those clusters writing to somewhere where we could inspect it later.
Yeah. I'm gonna let's see. Can I'll duplicate this tab because we're already in our bucket. I'll leave the other tab going so that if we need S3 select again, we can just come back. But we've got scripts. Yeah. Mining payload job. Okay. Now, Mike, there's a couple ways we could do this. We could download this. I could pull it into VS Code. I use VS Code personally. We could download this to Cloud Shell even. Check it out there. What do you want to do?
Let's try and stay within the context of the AWS console for this. So let's try Cloud Shell.
Okay.
Which should be a little icon right there in the upper right
corner.
Oh, yeah. You don't even have to
Look at you.
Go very far.
Look at you, Mike, helping me out.
There we go.
Preparing.
We'll have the ability to copy the S3 URI right here.
Boom. Yeah, we got AWS S3 already here. So I need S3. What's our bucket name? Oh, I don't want to type that out.
No, don't type that either. There's a little action button there that tells you exactly what you want.
Really?
Upper right?
Upper right. Oh, copy URI. Thank you. Man, Mike, you got to come on every show. Oops.
You missed a space there.
I sure did.
Yeah.
Okay, and then just here, right?
I don't know if that'll work, but let's give it a try because there's no object key.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Mining.
You have to give it the... Liz is telling us in chat to check Lambda for the Python script. I don't know if the Lambda console has this there yet, but we could go take a look.
I don't think this is deployed to Lambda. But yeah, absolutely. We'll take a look. Maybe it is. Maybe somebody's already played this.
You have other stuff from your previous. So
this is actually, these are Lambda functions that run the Quest development kit where this thing actually runs. Like I said, you wouldn't see this in your team account, but I'm not in a team account because I got super admin. Yeah, there's no Lambda function for this. And I don't believe there ever will be actually, because we are going to use EMR serverless to do this.
Right. So we would only see the function here if it was previously deployed to the Lambda function environment. We're just seeing a script that our predecessors have left us in S3.
That's right. So let me cat this. Also, is this even readable right now? Probably not.
Okay, there we go.
I don't know. I can't.
I guess we don't get tab completion.
Display. Here we go. Large. There. Okay, cat.
Nice.
Yes, we do. We got tab completion. So I'm going to cat this out. Okay. Read, shall we? So. Oh, look at this map.
And reduce.
Wow. Okay. So we're importing regex. And we're taking in some arguments, obviously, from our import statement here. We've got a function called mine spectrometer. It's a fancy word.
I wonder, what is a spectrometer? I've heard the word before. Does anybody in chat know what a spectrometer is without us looking it up? Tell us.
Yeah, help us out. I only know it sounds like a ghost hunting tool, which I'm like big into ghost hunting. So
Have you found any?
yeah, obviously.
Okay.
Of course. I wouldn't be still hunting if I hadn't found any. I'm just kidding. I haven't found any ghosts, and I've never been on a ghost hunt, but I do watch a lot of those programs. Oh, we got an answer. Chat's wonderful. I love chat so much. Used to measure light spectrum.
Okay.
So I guess mana is made of light, maybe?
Yeah.
I guess.
So I know one use you can use for that. Like back in my day when I did chemistry, you would actually you could actually like burn stuff and it would emit different lights and into a spectrometer. And then like if you had a compound, it could take what it emitted, those different spectrums, and you would be able to identify what was in it, like what elements and such were in that compound. It's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
thanks, Liquid
hey.
Surya, for those extra comments.
Yeah.
That was great.
Science rules all. I know that, but it is fun. Like when you can apply this stuff to ghosts and the paranormal. It's fun. But yeah, you're right, James. Thank you for bringing us into the grounded world of science and not the.
I'm sorry, did I kill the vibe or something?
Not the extraterrestrial world that I live in. No. In this house.
Wait, are you hunting alien ghosts?
Actually,
I don't even want to know.
Oh, there we go. When are we getting an AWS chemistry module? It's a good question.
It's on the roadmap, I'm sure.
I'll put it to my friend Danny Traphagen. She's the bioinformatics essay that I know. So I'll send this PFR to her. Actually, she's got a great. She does this thing explaining biology, like in short segments. So she's cool. Like if you should go look that up if you're interested in science, which you should be. Don't be like me. Don't search for UFOs.
Speaking of that bioinformatics, maybe later if we have time, I can talk about a little bit about the casings we're talking about. Those are actually used in analyzing gene markers. Very similar idea in this quest.
Very cool. So the fact that we're working on a imaginary unicorn problem here, there is some material applications of some of the ways we're doing stuff, just not necessarily the data we're analyzing.
Yes, it's not one-to-one, but it's a very similar idea. Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Look at this. So we're pulling in an argument here, right? A command line argument. And then they're switching on it. It's something called operating mode. There looks to be 2 operating modes.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what those are. Did we miss it? There's an array, it looks like.
I guess it depends a little bit on what
Right
is
here.
being passed into mana extractor. No, where is operating
Where does operating
modes?
modes coming from? Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's something we have to fix. Who knows?
You never know.
All right. So
Anyway, we've got
so far I've seen about 3 functions here.
Yes. Yeah. Listify, mine spectrometer, and mana extractor.
Yeah.
And then a mana extractor is what has multiple operating modes.
Got it. Yeah.
Should we go back to the instructions?
Yeah, I mean, so they've left us a script here. We're looking at that script. I appreciate that somebody left in some of those comments that they've moved the import so that way we can run it in Cloud Shell without installing Spark and prerequisites,
nice.
so we don't have to install those. Because I'm gonna guess that from the that what we saw on the EMR product page is that we can run Spark, we can run other stuff inside of EMR, so we don't need to have those dependencies installed in our ephemeral Cloud Shell.
Yes.
When we leave here, Cloud Shell disappears and goes poof.
Right. Well, an EMR, maybe specifically EMR serverless too, has your Spark dependencies installed, right? That's what you were saying.
Yeah, but we still don't know where the operating modes are coming from.
No, not yet. But look, read the help text and try out the spectrometer operating mode.
To find those casings. All right. Well, where's the help text?
I think you have to run the script, right?
Yeah.
Is this I don't know if this is structured like a CLI, but it clearly takes.
It doesn't have
the
a
main,
CLI.
right? Dunder main.
Yeah. If name equals main, but we can still run it with Python just Python and the name of the file.
Right. It's called mining payload.
Yeah, tab completion.
Usage.
All right. And
what if I do this? -H.
Yep. So we got an error because it didn't have any arguments and it said something's required.
Look at this.
Oh boy. This script counts the number of times a given element, a string of characters, in a set of payload files given the S3 prefix. Script can be used to run Spark jobs to either count or extract mana and count those. Flat, space delimited. Spectrometer jobs, the default, count every element. Valid mana between an inner and outer. We knew that from the instructions. We're spoiled. And we have some examples.
Let's pause right here for just a second since we're 45 minutes into the stream, Mike. For any of those just joining us, you are watching Step Up Your Game Day. We come and do this show on Wednesdays, and we play GameDay Quest. Today we're playing mana processing with Mike, the AWS Hero. We're your hosts, AM and James. Mike, do you want to give like a recap of what we've done so far?
Yeah, we've been we've discussed some game day. We've done some intros. We've talked about what a game day is and where to find them at an AWS event like Summits or reInvent, or at a MongoDB event at the AWS Loft coming March 23rd. And we've asked folks to kind of let us know where they'd want to see them or languages that they'd want to see AWS game day events done in or translated to, localized. We've started reading the first page of the instructions, bumbled around a lot, haven't gotten very far because we're having too much fun, which is a very bad thing when you're trying to feed unicorns.
It's a blessing and a curse, isn't it?
Yeah. And we found one payload file, took a look at that using S3 Select, which is something that's a bit new to most of us here. And now we're looking at the pre-existing, what is it? The mana extractor file.
Yeah.
And we're reading the help.
We've got that spectrometer mode, it looks like, and an extractor mode.
Yeah.
I wonder which one we're supposed to use.
Well, I think the instructions told us to try the spectrometer first, right?
It sure did. Look at
so
that.
We're reading the help test and try out to find those casings.
Okay, so let's we need payload source equal to where the payloads are. We know where those are.
Yeah.
Set the operating mode to spectrometer, and then we need to give it an output destination.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Shall.
It's gonna be fun to copy and paste around in this Cloud Shell thing. Oh yeah, it didn't work. I can take it off camera, or rather open
a VS Code.
Yeah, exactly.
Or any other
anything that will actually help me.
You can also open up a Vim command on Cloud Shell, and we could construct our scripts there.
You have a lot of faith in me, Mike. Once I open Vim, I'll never be able to get out.
No.
Let's see. Mining. Oh, I'm using a keyboard I'm not used to. Sorry. Yeah, I need something visual because I am Where did that open? Oh, here. Let me drag it over. Okay, so we're gonna call this hand.sh. I'm very descriptive. Okay. Let me. Oh, nope, don't do that. Let me get this all in one line, first of all, and then we got to come in and replace my bucket. Oh wow, that's fun.
So something we could do to make this just a little more legible is we could keep it on multiple lines, but use a bash extender, which is
you do the
/.
Correct. Yes.
So that way we don't have to scroll horizontally a million times.
Fair enough, Mike. Always got to make things better, don't you?
I try.
Okay, let me go back to where were we to copy the S3 URL.
URI.
I'm learning. Not making those basic mistakes, like trying to type it out or copy. Okay, so we don't want scripts though. We want payloads.
Yeah.
/1, and then we're going into spectrometer, right?
Yeah.
So I'll also need to, oh, no, that's the key binding. I'm using a Windows keyboard with a Mac operating system, which is always works really well.
Wonderful. I was happy I got a keyboard that has a little switch on the back that I can toggle between Windows and Mac.
Ooh, that's nice.
That sounds fancy.
Yeah.
So like Control U to clear like back didn't work for me there.
Yeah. Let's try a clear command just to.
Oh yeah. Good call. So
UI.
we can actually see what is going on. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to type clear, which I usually don't. None of my keyboard shortcuts are working. I hit enter. I thought, oh, no module named PySpark. So I guess
yeah,
we didn't pip install.
So we can now, right?
Right.
Yep. This might take a minute or two.
Yeah, I have to go out and download it.
It's also a big package, 281 megabytes.
Whew. You want to talk about you've got some cool Python packages out there, Mike.
I just have one right now that's a good one, which is a PyTest testing tool, a plugin. So if you're writing software and you write tests for it and you use PyTest, I have a plugin called PyTest Socket that can prevent network connections when you run your tests. Very often we'll write code that interacts with some other service, and when you're writing your tests, you want them to be fast. You don't want them to like make an API call to some service and do something wrong. All right, so that's what that plugin's for. It looks like PySpark might have some other dependencies.
Yeah, maybe we should just go and try and run this in EMR.
Yeah, instead of trying to do this.
What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, we've been working on our own thing, so let's try the studio that's been provisioned for us instead of doing Cloud Shell. But we got the help text, and that kind of pointed us to this command.
Cool. Hold
All
on.
right.
That's exciting. Let's just go in here, maybe. Well. I am the administrator, so we're in trouble.
Yeah, I'm trying to contact you now. Hey, Am, you there?
No, I'm not. I'm out of office, actually, forever. I was in that lotto pool, so I won. Interesting. Let's just try this. Does this have something? Oh, this is where we are. Manage applications. Okay.
Whenever I get stuff like that, I always think of aren't you forgetting that I own you kind of vibe from Hercules.
Let's see. So let's see. I might have another environment that I can try and see if it'll work. Let me, I wonder, did I have that open though? It would be way too convenient if I already had it open. Oh, I do already have it open. Let me see if I can actually open EMR Studio on this environment, and we'll hop over there if so.
Yeah. Wasn't the best descriptive text, I'll tell you that. And there's some feedback to the EMR team. There's that little button, provide feedback. But
hey,
they want feedback on the console.
Guess what? For whatever reason, we're off to the races over here. So good thing I made 2 of these. Woo! All right. So we've got an application in here called Mana Processor.
Is this using the old studio, the old console? I think so.
Maybe so. All right. So
I guess we want to submit a job.
I think so. Oh, look, the script. We put the script in, right? So we knew where that was. We need to go new frontier. Oh, yeah, there's our bucket.
There we go.
And then scripts.
Oh, this is easier than what we were doing.
Right? Choose a runtime. Oh, this is one of my favorite things about Game Day. Oftentimes when it comes to the IAM roles, they're already built for you.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Call this Spectro.
Spectro.
It sounds cool, right?
Sounds like a superhero.
Spectro. Now we have to do, it showed me in the description, like an array-like syntax, and then put comma delimited arguments here. So we had a bunch of arguments, didn't we?
Yeah, and now I'm wondering if we have to update the arguments for this account, because the S3 bucket URI is going to be a little different.
We absolutely will. Thank you for remembering that, so that we didn't have to run this multiple times.
Yeah.
Let's go. Buckets. I'm going to, oh, it's right here up at the top. Okay. So we want the payloads though, and we want to copy that URI. I got it.
Yeah, you don't have to do it on your own.
Okay. So coming in here, we're going to update here. Right.
Including the S3:// prefix.
Good catch. Oh, and we got an extra little slash. And then same here, except we're gonna get rid of that that payload.
Yep. And since we're already in text edit, why don't we use this opportunity to construct the arguments in the array format?
Man, are you sure you're not a host of this show, Mike?
No, I'm just following directions and trying to make it easy.
I don't like to follow directions. I feel like maybe you have played a game day before, because you've got a lot of the tips and tricks. And this is very painful, by the way, because none of my key bindings are working. So I can't, like, every time I try and like skip a word, it skips to the end of the line. So that's why this is taking me forever. I promise I type faster than this.
It's okay. I worked with somebody who they changed their keyboard layout to using the Dvorak keyboard layout. And they just use that as a security measure. If anybody sat down at their computer, they wouldn't be able to type anything.
I have I've worked with a Dvorak devotee as well, and it's mind-boggling how you use that thing. So this should work. Famous last words.
Yeah,
right?
There's a lot of optional things. Let's ignore all of them because they're optional.
Yeah, James and I we have a YOLO philosophy here, where we often like to just click the button and see what happens on the other side.
So the job is submitted. We got a green thing. What would view details on that bar give us?
Oh, It takes us to the individual running job.
Okay.
Pending. We've got to wait.
Can I just tell you, that's
Yeah.
aggravating. If you look at the script arguments, they've normalized them from our input.
Oh,
They've mutated them. So we can't copy that and just paste it again.
Oh, you're right. I wonder what happens. Let's take a look. What comes out of it?
Submit feedback. Fix that. Change that.
How dare they?
Look at that. Yeah, you're right. They get rid of
They're comma separated. They're just not quote or array wrapped.
Yeah, and there's no.
Yeah. All right. Let's tell the EMR Studio folks that's something to fix.
We're still pending here.
It's evaluating the job.
Let's see if we read everything. Also, by the way, while we're waiting, I think we have. We're going to be dropping in casings here.
Yeah.
So it looks like we have 3 casings we need to find. And look at this. We haven't even used a hint yet, Mike. How proud of you are.
I'm pretty proud because like it might have been a good hint to say use EMR Studio instead of Cloud Shell.
You learned the hard way though.
Yeah. But I mean, we had a shell available. Let's take a look at the script. We looked at the script and that was insightful enough to get us moving to where we got the arguments we were looking for. And
you didn't lose first place.
Yeah. But we haven't earned any points yet. I want some points.
We got to get those casings.
Yeah.
EMR's got to run our job already. Oh, and it's now scheduled.
Oh, you saw that before you hit refresh. Ah, there we go.
It's now scheduled.
Okay. So what I'm guessing is happening behind the scene here is that there's a control plane that is provisioning the serverless resources for EMR, however many like computers that it thinks it's going to need to run the Spark job. And
for ours, thousands, right?
Yeah,
Thousands.
I mean millions. And then it's provisioning those, so that takes a moment or two, and then it's giving the script to the Spark master runner, primary runner for this job run.
I would assume, yeah. I don't know much about Spark or how it's structured, but I do believe Spark is probably a clustered application.
Yeah. Can in this view, can you see the Spark properties?
Oh, it's
Does
running.
that tell us in the lower pane?
Oh, this tells you how it was
okay, it's
instantiated.
using Hadoop's Hive Metastore client factory class. So all of that looks very Java oriented.
Means a lot to me on a personal level, like an emotional level. It means a lot to me, but practically I don't understand it because I don't know Spark. But emotionally, I connect with it.
I see. It sparks some.
It sparks joy. Yeah, that's terrible, Mike. That's terrible.
They should just turn us off now.
I'm so sorry, Mike. You won't be asked back to the stream ever again. But it was fun having you here.
Well, we got a success. We got a green check mark of success. So
maybe I shouldn't say it was fun. It was something having you here. I'm just kidding. Where do we see what happened? Oh, script location. Oh, we put an output, didn't? Or no, our script has an output destination.
Yes, the output destination, because I'm guessing. So we see some output here of like runtime. It took 3 minutes 20 seconds to run.
Yes.
It used some CPU memory storage hours. That's going to be all billing related.
Right.
And when you want to tune it, but the script ran. So now we need to go ask our script, where did we put the output destination? It's going to be in a S3 bucket / spectrometer. That was the name you gave it, right?
That's right. That's what they told me to name it.
So if you were to refresh this view right here,
we got something.
Well, we got success, which is 0 bytes.
That's weird.
Well, it's a marker. It's just saying the job was successful, I guess.
True.
And then we got 2 parts. We got a 3 kilobyte and a 3 megabyte.
Yeah. I'm thinking download.
Yeah, let's S3 select one of them.
Oh, S3 select. Look at you. Loving that S3 select over here. Object actions. Query. Now this is JSON.
It's already selected it for us, which is cool.
Yeah.
That's nifty.
It's not that hard though, because it's .json.
Yeah, but like the UI adapted. That's cool.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Oh, hey, look at this. So this actually counted the casings for us.
So the spectrometer counted the frequency of a given item in. Is it ordered? Do we know if it's ordered?
It's ordered by count. Yes.
Well, in this view.
Oh, true. Let's just like up that to 15 and see. Yeah, look, it decreases.
Okay. Yeah.
I think
that's nice. I guess the Spark job maybe emits that as the JSON. Yeah, we didn't dig into that code too deeply.
No.
But let's take that first one, 010.
Sparks are flying out of the bucket. All of this.
These are generated from EMR scheduled job as yesterday was a special day.
Okay. I do like sparks are flying out of the bucket. That's
I appreciate that.
Okay, so we're gonna actually get ourselves a casing, maybe.
Yeah, let's try that first one.
It might be inner, it might be outer. We don't know, right? We could go and run an S3 select against the payload data and like try and find this. Or YOLO.
We could on the payload, or I mean, how smart is S3 select? It's pretty smart.
A SQL, which I'm pretty limited.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think through, like, is there a way we could have written the Spark job in S3 select?
Maybe. Liz from LinkedIn asked, is it column-wise?
Well, there were no headers on the columns.
No. It was just line delimited, basically, and space on the individual lines.
Yes, maybe it wouldn't have worked well as an S3 select because there's no structure to the data that way.
Sorry, what I'm saying that we could do now that we know candidates for the casings, we could go use the candidates to go view them, like show me all instances of 010855 in the payload data to see, like, is it an inner casing or an outer casing? Remember, because we have
that's right, because we have two that are in the 900 range.
Yes,
and we don't know if it's inner or outer yet.
Right, or we could just click update and go to those score events and see.
No, you had a great idea to use S3 select. Let's do that.
I mean, just the fact that you called it a great idea is.
I don't want to sacrifice points on something that you have an out.
It's really playing into my ego right now, Mike, that you said that something I think was a great idea. So I guess we got to do it. All right. We don't know which payload that these show up in, though.
We don't, but we gave it a first one, right? So if it is a casing, it should exist in most payloads, right?
Right. So we want to select. How would we do
that? Select star.
Okay. Where?
And then add a where clause.
Yeah, where. Ooh, look at my where. How do we reference the actual thing? Like, it's not a field. It doesn't have a name. I wonder if it's like a $sign variable or something. You know what I mean? Like in Bash, you would do like
a self-reference.
Yeah.
So let's replace the wildcard. Can we do this?
I will say there's also.
Oh, we could give it an alias.
Okay.
Maybe star as.
Oh yeah, as
line. Where line.
And it's just a single equal.
Well, it won't be an equal because that would have to match the whole line. So we want a likeness operator. So
okay.
line like, and then we'll prepend and append
like contains or
percentage.
something.
It's kind of like contains, but that's not part of SQL standard. So it'd
Right.
be line like.
Capital.
That's all right. SQL isn't too picky about that.
We're getting S should be already be an alias likely.
I think S is for the object itself, not necessarily as the reference in the object. Missing from.
It didn't like this, I guess.
Oh yeah, it didn't like that. Because what we're getting back is a column name. Can we do the select and just limit 5 again, just to see what kind of column name it automatically assigns?
Yeah, of course, but I don't think it had any. Oh, look, there is that S.
Yeah, but that's referencing S3 object, right?
Oh,
so let's drop
yeah.
the like. Let's drop the.
Yeah, where? And just go back to limit.
Oh, scall 1. But is that what it's called? Is it called call 1? We can try it.
Oh, okay. From chat, I just saw that as well. Select from where scall 1. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, chat.
Yeah, we're all kind of guessing here.
Not kind of for me. Oh,
all right. Yeah, that's not valid. All right. What's another way we can do
hey,
it?
look, SQL reference. Oh, go ahead, James.
I've been researching SQL Select here, and apparently column numbers are referred to when there's no actual header, underscore n, where n is the column position. So you could try underscore 1, for example.
Right here, right?
All right.
So we're going to go back to
select star from S3 object S, where S underscore 1.
Either that or just underscore 1. Yeah.
Try both because it's free. Nope.
Oh, you're using double quotes?
Oh, yeah.
That you use single quotes. Thanks, SQL.
Stuff.
They are not interchangeable.
That means stuff. Hey, yeah. Okay, there we go.
Hey, look at that.
So it looks like this is our inner casing.
Maybe.
Because look, that's the mana. Well, it depends. We need to go back to our this. Does this match 3?
3F0. Yeah, that's on the next line. Next column. So that first line is not mana.
Yes, that is not mana, but that is our inner casing, and mana will appear between those two.
Yeah, that's on like line 7 or something like that.
So we can actually update this.
Let's get some points.
Any points. And then we do know that this bad boy here
is an outer casing.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. Maybe we're getting on the board. Only an hour and 15 minutes into the stream.
Hey, man, we're learning. We're learning a lot about both EMR, S3 Select. Hopefully the unicorns aren't. Hey, we did it. Wait, that was worth 2,000 points. See, it takes an hour and a half to get 2,000 points, buddy.
2,000 education points, right?
Education points. Just to put this into context, a real game day is usually about 3 hours and has about 5 to 6 quests. You know, just saying, not saying, but just saying.
Right, James, are you berating us for not moving faster?
No, I think it's good because we're actually learning. We're not just YOLOing and trying to get the points and win. We're actually being intentional with our process.
I got to shout out chat too, because chat is bringing it and helping too. Like we got Liz in here asking about fixed sizing. We got Liquid Surya coming in and throwing in some SQL for us. You know, this is awesome.
Yep.
Okay.
We updated 2 casings, so should we get a second one here?
I would think so. Sometimes the scoring takes a minute.
Okay.
But let's check out the scoreboard too. Uh-oh. What's going on? No scoreboard. Okay, that's fine.
No, it's fine. It's just
we don't do it for the points.
No, we only do it for the points.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Only reason.
Oh, hey, look. This is using the QDK that I usually do my testing on. So,
so there's an aggregate of all of your points.
Maybe. I mean, there's no real knowing where these points came from. Who knows? To paraphrase Empire Records, who knows where points come from? They just appear. It's actually who knows.
Is today Rex Manning Day? When is Rex Manning Day?
Rex Manning Day. Every day is Rex Manning Day if you believe, Mike. All right, let's see if we've got. Let's see. Look, we've earned 2,000 points so far.
Cool. They were 1,000 per casing.
Maybe so. Yeah.
Okay.
And see, look, you can tell that GameDay has processed your thing because it updates and tells you the input that you just provided was this thing, right? So we got to find the next
that's helpful if we got one wrong and tell it so that we don't have to submit the wrong value again.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Correct.
Cool. So let's go find a second inner casing.
So we think, I mean, this has the matching count number and it appears a lot, right? So this seems like something we should investigate.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think if we run the same SQL, we'll see the same thing.
I hope so. Okay.
Yep.
And then what was the pair? 0A55.
Yep. That's our next pair.
There we go. Nice.
Nice.
We're just going to be swimming in points.
We didn't have to spend any on hints.
Look at you. Look at you. So most people, Mike, I will say, will utilize the hints. Or even at events too. So we have support staff at events that walk around in case you need help. So maybe a tip for you, Mike, if you do play one of these live with the team, just get one of the support people to come out. You don't have to pay them points.
Wait. I don't have to spend hints when I mean, that's a good hint that I didn't have to spend any more points on.
Yeah, that's right. You do have to do something that is, in some regards, especially for people like me, insurmountable. And that
talking
is
to a stranger.
Speak to a human being, right? So points, talking to a human that you don't know.
You never know how that's going to work out.
Yeah, I usually will just go the route of never speaking to another living person if possible.
And also one of your supporters might be me or AM, so your mileage might vary on that.
The show is called Step Up Your Game Day, but we didn't say whose game day we're stepping up, by the way. It could just be James and my game day that we're stepping up.
Yeah, why did you think we brought on a guest?
Oh boy.
Pressure's on, Mike. Okay, so we just keep going down the row?
I think so. I think also just looking at the data spread from that JSON response, it is pretty.
Ooh. That's interesting.
That's interesting. Oh, this might not be in this payload.
It might not be in this payload, or it may not be a casing. Because remember, we had more than one casing file come out.
That's true. We did. But I was looking at the spread in the report there, and we had 900, 800, 400, and then a cliff drop to like the 30s and 40s. So it seemed pretty reasonable that this would be the...
This is really important to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, once we have that the hint James got us with the underscore column, that's pretty critical for S3 Select.
Yes. Yeah, James really coming through.
And that was a free hint from the actual, this thing that's called documentation.
God, more reading, James? More reading?
No, I know. Yeah,
I loved in our last episode, Mike, one of the chat comments was, I didn't learn to program to read. That really just hit home for me.
I mean, I'll be perfectly honest, right? Like most of the time when I'm programming, I'm reading about 100 times more than what I'm writing, right? With the hope that what I've written is the right stuff, so that way I don't have to rewrite it.
Preach.
Oh, it's not in this payload either. So we could keep going down payloads and seeing, but let's maybe investigate another other file.
That was a 3 meg. That was much bigger.
Yeah. So this is our next one. We got limit 5. Oh, okay. Well, that's not going to help.
Yeah, that doesn't sound.
Let me make sure and just like pick that up to 25. Yeah, look, we didn't find any casings here. So
yeah.
This has got to be probably somewhere.
Well, we've been approaching it where the object equals equals.
Well, yeah, because we're trying to pull out, does the casing appear, right?
Yeah, but equals usually matches kind of the entire row. And I don't know if S3 select, like it has been pretty generous by giving us things that like start with that.
Working.
Even
That's
though
always
it's not
a fun thing in programming.
Tell me. Try _2.
Oh.
If it's an outer casing, it'll be in the second column. We're in the payload 3. Let's go back to payload 1.
Yeah. Or we just keep going down.
Okay.
Just because that's a fun thing in programming, isn't it? Where like something works and then it stops working and you don't know why it stopped working. It's always a lot of fun. Try this regex. Yeah. My favorite thing about regex is when you have a problem and you try and solve it with regex. Now you have 2 problems. Oh, look.
There we go. So we could have updated our SQL statement to say where _ equals or _2 equals.
Yeah.
That way we can provide the same input and run the query only once.
And with SQL, you have to do it like this, right? Oh, no, that's not what I want. I meant you have to have both statements and an or connecting both statements.
Without the where. That second where can go away.
Can that go away? Okay.
Yeah. And there's some fancy stuff you you forgot an equals after _1.
You sure right that I did. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're looking for 9.3. Let's see if 0.9 precedes. Wrong one. 9.3.0. So this is the inner casing.
The
tricky
inner outer. Inner and outer are just weird.
They're kind of hard
phrases for the non-bio informatic, like the prefix and suffix. I think make more sense to me. But I guess if you're a casing expert,
this is the technical term for mana casing, apparently.
Oh,
scientific.
I mean, it was described in the docs, so it's like I'm gonna believe the docs.
So yes, we validated 0.9 is
0.9 CEA
outer
is the
right.
Well,
no, inner. It's inner.
Show us the docs on
inner,
the screenshot.
And then 9.7.3 comes after, so that's outer. Yes. Say inner, outer.
Third inner mana outer.
Yeah, I think we did this right.
All right.
We'll find out. We might lose some points here, Mike. If we do, you can blame me. Oh, look at that.
We did it.
Look at that. Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. Oh, and look, it auto updated for.
Oh, crap.
Isn't that cool?
Look at that.
Isn't that cool? Congratulations.
Yeah.
But guess what? We're not done.
Oh, there's more. Oh, the challenge continued to extend.
Yeah. That was just like the warm up.
Yeah, so we've identified how to find our mana. Now we actually have to, do it. We have to actually go get it.
Damn it.
There's an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they're doing an escape room, and they spend the entire time arguing basically, and they finally get the key to unlock things, and they open it. Spoilers for this episode, by the way, and it says the game is afoot, and they're at the end of the time.
The time.
Yeah. And they think that they've beaten the escape room, but no. So that's kind of like what has happened with us here. Okay, let's see if we can maybe get through this challenge. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, can you zoom in maybe one or two more?
I can zoom out.
There we go. There we go.
Yes, I will.
All right, thanks.
Let me get through here too.
In your mana mining bucket, you'll need to restore the results as JSON in the manas one prefix. If you found the script from the now gone hires, now it's not even sugarcoating it. They're gone. They are off. It has a second operating mode, extractor. Example, element, and account. You don't have to worry about combining. The shipping department will take care of it. Stuff it into trucks, interstellar trucks. Can even spread. Another department will worry about the waste. We're not counting it.
Okay.
All right. So they're looking for an output. So we had passed script arguments of a spectrometer. There was a different argument to pass in. Do you have the other Cloud Shell available?
That's what I was coming back to. Here it is with our help, right? Where we couldn't actually run it. Preparing your terminal. Okay.
But we don't need that. We can just, we could have scrolled up.
All right. Sorry. I didn't want all that clutter.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then just -H.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. So scrolling up.
So the operating mode, right? No, right there in the optional arguments, we have it described for us.
Yeah.
Those are the examples, but let's scroll down a little bit.
Sure.
So
Extractor.
operating mode extractor. Yeah. So in VS Code, you had the previous command we sent to the Spark job.
Correct. And that was the spectrometer mode.
So let's use the that one. Yeah, line 3, because that's nicer.
Okay, I'm trying to clone, but I'm gonna have to do this the old school way. There we go. Okay, so we're still reading the payloads, I think. Let's go back. Right. So operating mode, extractor, output destination. Well, we don't want spectrometer because we were told
it has to go into manas one.
Yeah. Where is that? Where did that go? Oh, this is the other.
It's in Chrome, not Firefox.
Correct. There we are. So manas 1, right? So we want to replace payloads 1 for the.
Well, that's not. No, that's the source. We want to keep the source. We want to change the operating mode.
Output destination. There we go. So extractor, and change spectrometer to mana, correct?
Manas
1,
yeah.
Okay, so let's make sure one more time over here. Output, we have to provide the casings.
Oh, okay. So we're going to have to run this for 3 different casing pairs.
Yeah. And EMR, I guess.
Yeah. And we could, because it is EMR, I'm guessing we could start up 3 separate jobs.
Yes, and we could probably
because they each
copy those jobs.
The spectrometer only took about 3.5 minutes. We have no idea how long these extractors are going to take.
Very true. So -- inner casing and -- outer casing. Let me just copy that. So again, I'm not. And unfortunately, we can't use your trick here of separate lines.
I mean, I bet you could, because you're pasting the input into a web form that's going to use the square brackets to delimit it.
Maybe. Oh, wait, we already had our EMR Studio up. So we can come back in here to our jobs and submit a job, right?
Right, but we need to fill our parameters with the casings, right?
Tractor.
Let's go 900s.
Oh, 900?
Because that was the roughly count of the casings.
Oh, I thought it was because that's how long it took us to get to this point.
There was a reasoning. Yeah.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Let's see. We need the payload. No, this is
the script.
This is the script. Got confused. Perfect. I believe you can just, I probably could have just cloned the other job that we had. We'll try that on the next run.
Yeah, because now we'll have an extractor run.
Right. So inner casing, number 1. Which tab? It's like tab roulette. Okay. Outer casing.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Let's give that a go.
Just submit. Okay. Extractor 9. Can I oh yeah, look at this.
Yeah.
Clone job.
Clone it. Make another one.
These
are the 400s. These are, oh wait.
It was 8.
900, 800, and 400s.
Yeah.
Yeah. These aren't the exact counts. If I was doing this for realsies, I might have an exact count or
wait.
If I was doing this for my work, right? Like I would go and like look up the value.
You're not doing this for realsies, Mike?
Yeah, this isn't. You're working. You're a new hire here. Come on. Like,
I'm
why?
Sorry.
This isn't a game. This is my life, Mike.
I've broken.
I just totally realized that we have not done a recap. James very thankfully put that in chat for us. Thank you, James, for being responsible. While I'm finishing this up and creating the jobs, do one of you all want to give a recap? Not everyone at once, please.
No. Okay. So yeah. So welcome everyone again to Step Up Your Game Day. We've been running a Game Day Quest with Mr. Mike Fiedler, AWS Hero. We are doing a quest called Mana Processing, where we've been using Elastic MapReduce Studio to try and identify strings that correspond to what we're calling casings. The innermost string is going to be our mana that we're going to extract and feed our unicorns as part of the game. But the goal is to learn how to use these different services, for example, EMR Studio, S3 Select, which is actually really cool. And I didn't really know it existed before this quest. We are currently doing our extraction of the mana since we have identified where they are. Anything I missed? That was off.
I'll just echo that the S3 Select stuff, right? Like I've used it through an API call. It has gotten really easy to just do exploratory analysis of unknown files in S3, right? Like it's so common to just download the file and try and process it through other tools on my laptop. I would have had to like download that, maybe load that into a spreadsheet thing. And then again, depending on the size, I might have broken my machine or like stalled it. This was just so easy to like while we were live, you were able to look up the docs to like figure out the column naming for unstructured, but with other CSVs or JSON or Parquets, they're all just there. So it was like so convenient.
And Mike, what do you think of
this show brought to you by S3 Select?
Yeah, right. No, but then I was going to ask, I just thought of this right now. What do you think compared to like, say, Athena? Like Athena is much more robust probably. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think from a general like usability perspective, I find that S3 Select in what we've been doing here for exploration has been really the easy, quick, and dirty. Does that mean I can't build big, robust applications on top of it? No, I can. Athena, I think, serves maybe a different space where I might want to, crawl a bucket, discover schemas, and kind of pull out a lot, create a data catalog and, apply a lot more SQL to what I'm doing, partitioning data for that. But this was just a really easy way to get at the same data that I might have explored through Athena before.
Yeah, that's basically about what I was thinking. A lot more you could do. As far as you said, the schema and exploration kind of aspects of Athena, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like with our script in Cloud Shell, we went to our Cloud Shell again just to kind of download and look at the script and kind of just read through it. We could have downloaded that to our computer. We could have done, any of that, but it just, we were able to do it without having to use too many local resources. I think so far, the only local resource we've been using is AM's VS Code to construct the parameters, right? Like you could do that in a notepad. You could do that anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't using any compute. I'm not running any scripts here whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's just like typing, basically.
Yep.
You're going to be real unhappy with what just happened, Mike. Just a forewarning. But we lost some points because we took too long.
No.
You don't have a perfect score anymore.
Okay, that's all right though. Like I'll take the hit on the points because we've been learning so many details about what it is we're doing.
I imagine it's like that Tobias Funke gif of him crying in the shower. That'll be you after this, thinking about the 50 points that we lost here.
Yeah. I'm going to blame internet latency and say that time is hard. So, 10 minutes, that's fine. But
this is an interesting part of game day is that you even get scored on how long it takes you to do things.
Yeah. I think that somewhat accurately reflects real life too, because if you take too long, bad things can happen. But we got 10,000 points out of it. So
look at this. Oh, look at that. That really just kind of like that 950 there. Doesn't that hurt?
It really does.
Like inexplicably for no reason at all. It just kind of hurts.
Open up the browser inspector and manually update the HTML. Get a perfect score. Create a snapshot and we're done.
Well, I mean, we also have this 55,000 points that we really, and like I said, I have full control over the environment in which we're running, so I can just go arbitrarily give us points.
Oh no,
I would never do that.
Never. That would be wrong.
Mike. That's just.
Oh wait, we're not done. We got more tasks. All right, we need you to process the new payloads as they arrive quickly.
Oh, oops.
Crap.
1 of 11.
So successive payloads will be delivered to the payloads prefix of your meta mining bucket at incrementally increasing prefix. Every bit of time lost costs us. So we're going to lose points if we don't do it.
We're already losing points, I'm sure.
Yeah. So now we've got a Lambda function.
Yes.
But we need to look at event notifications to automatically trigger and for only deliveries to the payload prefix. All right, cool. So let's go take a look at that Lambda function. Oh boy.
It's getting complex, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I'm in the wrong region.
Yep, that'll do you every time.
I think I'm in US East 1 for this. Yes,
North Virginia. Yeah.
You probably saw some stackery functions there. That was when I was Chase Douglas's personal essay.
Oh
wow. Working with stackery. You know Chase, right?
I've
serverless
once.
Hero. Oh, I love Chase. He's Farrah's. Farrah worked at Stackery too.
Yeah.
Farrah Campbell. How we met, Mike.
Yep, that's right. Through Farrah Campbell.
And you'll never forgive her. You'll never forgive her.
I will continuously thank her.
Be on your deathbed. And is there anything you want to say before you go? Dang you.
Farrah.
Oh boy. So it looks like this Lambda function Looks like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it also looks like it just starts up EMR job, right?
Yep. But it's starting up in a spectrometer or an extractor, very similar to what we were doing.
Yes.
Via EMR, right?
Yeah. Let's go up here. This is the spectrometer job template, and there's an extractor job template.
Yep. And then can you just show the Lambda handler at the bottom?
Check this out.
Huh.
Yeah. So this finds the application ID. I'm assuming from our EMR application, right?
I'm guessing.
Or serverless application, maybe. Manual invocation.
All right.
If event bridge, there's 2 event bridges apparently, simple and original flavored.
Yep. Low calorie.
Diet.
And then based on the event get, whichever the input for the operating mode would be spectrometer.
And if nothing's found, I guess, to extractor.
Yep. That's the default, right? And then it would launch them. Launch jobs. Where in here are we configuring the casing IDs?
That looks to be in the actual environment variables.
So let's scroll down and find our environment variables.
Right. Oh, wait, scroll up to configure.
Oh, sorry.
No, I forget. That used to be where it was, right?
They keep moving stuff around. Oh, look at those shruggies.
It's my default.
All right. Would you mind doing a little bit of it's your rest.
Oh. Don't ask me. Yeah, so we need to put inner. So these are the same casings that we were using, I assume.
I presume those are the ones that we were used that got us here, that told us we did it right.
These.
And I believe they probably have to kind of match inner and outer. So inner one would probably have to match with outer one.
One of my favorite things to do, Mike, is to only code Lambda functions in the Lambda console.
I mean, if you're not doing that in the console, is it even real?
Did it even happen?
Yeah.
Actually, we did a Heroes event once. Me and an old colleague, Nikki Stone. She was great. She's moved on to Meta at this point, but we did a Heroes event where we did something similar to Game Day, but we called it Iron Chef, but for coding. And we would make up arbitrary rules about, like, you have to only code in the Lambda console. And we did it with a bunch of AWS serverless heroes too.
Yeah.
And Chris Munns. And so
love Chris Munns. He's here in New York.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun making Chris Munns only type in the Lambda console. Actually, Chris took on the role of just building PowerPoint templates, if I recall correctly. This is a while back. This is like 3 or 4 years ago. Anyway, all right.
So we've set our configuration values, but now we actually need to kind of invoke this. And the instructions said we have to like trigger it.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
So
we could trigger it with S3 or we can trigger it with Event Bridge. But I don't see it written in here for Event Bridge. Maybe
you mean for S3?
Yeah, that's what I meant for S3. I only see Event Bridge in the processing mode.
Yeah.
But it did say, I'm not misquoting this. You'll probably want to look at event notifications from which are powered by Event Bridge, I believe.
Right.
So that might be why it says simple Event Bridge versus original or something.
Right.
Create event notification.
Does it give us the shape of the event coming in? Be helpful, wouldn't it?
Supported event types.
Here?
That's to receive.
Yeah. Huh.
It's probably going to be like a object create, right? Or an object put, I think, in that page that you showed.
Yeah. Yeah, when we're actually, so we want to process, so the payloads are coming in, right?
So every time a payload gets uploaded,
Correct.
S3 will fire some event with a prefix of S3 something, right?
And look, we want it, make sure to only do this for deliveries to the payloads prefix.
Yeah, because otherwise, if we don't filter for payloads, then every time we write a success, because we're using the same bucket. Right.
Oh, look, we're already getting payloads in here.
Oh, crap. We're going to lose points if we don't move this along.
Yeah, in the bucket, isn't there something where you can create an event notification in S3? Oh gosh, where is it? Try properties. I think
versioning server.
There.
Event notification. There we go. Look at that.
Yeah, I was like, I think you can do it from S3, like create your events from there. Cool.
We don't need a suffix, but we do need a prefix. All object create events. Yes.
Yeah. Anything that gets dumped in there. So it's either going to be a put, post, copy, or multi-part complete. We don't care about removal.
But
yeah.
And then we pick a Lambda function, which we had the Lambda.
It's going to be mining.
Yeah, where
it has mining in the middle of it.
It does. Mining controller. I wonder if. There we go.
Hey, only one.
Okay, save.
Convenient.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I think
we'll
have
see
to...
if that fires here. Does that show us anything? Well, now that we've added it, I guess scrolling down to the notifications, there's a destination. So this is where we've explicitly tied the bucket event to the target Lambda. If we were doing a fan out or a multi-processing, we might do to event bridge and then have event bridge, Lambda listen to event bridge based on a prefix. That way we could write multiple Lambda invocations.
Right. Okay.
But this ought to work.
It should, but I don't think we'll get another delivery because we've already gotten one until we process.
We could manually invoke.
Correct, because it has this payload location is the object that we need to send.
So let's use the create a new event.
And it's I already forgot. Is it?
It was a payload location
underscore or dash.
I don't know. Use your keyboard copy.
Yeah, it is underscore. That would have
helped.
Kind of thrown me off. All right, so I can delete these. Although it doesn't really matter. And so I guess we'll have to do two, right? Like I wonder if we need to include the S3.
Let's take a look at the code again. Maybe open that in a separate tab to see how it
really
parses it.
Stretching the limits of my machine, aren't you, with all these tabs? This is a tiny subset of the normal amount of tabs I have open. So it appends it to this action list. For action in action list. So look, it's appending.
So it's constructing a whole key. So if we give it a payload location a specific key, it should run for those payloads.
Yes.
Can we see in the S3 bucket if any new payloads? Like we saw that there were 2 already there.
Correct. Let's go to objects, payloads. So we have already processed one.
Because we manually did that.
Correct. So we'll now need to process these objects. So copy the URI. Where did it go?
There you go.
And I wonder if it actually already. So it's not processing.
Nothing new has come in yet.
Right. It hasn't triggered that thing that we set up. All right. So we should be able to test. Well, I think I have to save first and then test. But
you need to give it an event name? No? All right.
Yeah, it's hello world in there.
Right.
Okay.
And
it's all right. So I bet if we go to our EMR, it will show it.
Yeah, we should see a new job.
Yeah, look at. Oh wait, it's scheduled 3 jobs. Oh, for each casing.
casing, right?
Oh, yep.
For each,
Casing pair.
Yeah.
each casing.
Innies and outies.
Using that brain over here. Okay.
I
Well, now we
think
have to
you
do
don't
this.
even need to copy the thing back in. You could just increment the number because I think there's like 5 of them.
Why don't you want to do like really hard work over here? What is this? Work harder, not smarter. Wait, no, that's my motto. Yours is smarter, not harder.
Smarter, not harder.
Okay, yeah, no, mine is harder, not smarter. All right, test. It's just like let's see how EMR serverless stands up to this. I'm sure it'll be fine, actually.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point, right?
Okay. Oh, wrong. So we should have a bunch of jobs.
We should have a bunch, yeah.
There we go. All right, so now we're just gonna wait as these things run. So Mike,
yeah,
plug.
So things to plug, I guess. Check out if you're into some of Lambda function development or serverless application models. Check out serverless application model, AWS SAM and SAM CLI. It's better than writing stuff in a console and deploying it like we are. Also, if serverless isn't your kind of bag of beans yet, and you want to try out containers, if you've got legacy applications, you want to kind of put them together, check out the AWS Copilot CLI if you want to pull that tag up.
You and I talked Copilot at
we did at reInvent.
Yeah.
It is an excellent toolkit for containerized applications. Really, really cool. The team who work on that are pretty solid, and they continue to make running containers on AWS through this toolkit very easy. And like, again, pick your poison, find the tools that work for you in your toolbox. This one has worked very well for me. And the team are really nice. Not to say other teams aren't nice, but I've interacted with these folks and they're pretty awesome.
Exceptionally nice.
Yeah.
I'm dropping the link at the LinkedIn as well.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah. Cool. So we're oh wait, that's the wrong. That's when we got kicked
wrong
out.
Window.
That's when we got kicked out. We couldn't call the administrator because the administrator is me.
The murderer is inside the house.
That's right. That's right. So we've processed some of these. Let's see if it's updated anything. So far, no.
No. We could take a look at our output.
Yeah. Yes.
Just to see what's shown up there.
Smart. We've got stuff.
Yeah. And there is success. So it just might be a matter of waiting for
things
the
to,
game day to.
Oh, look, you have refined 49 types of mana.
Okay.
Detected 6 JSON files. If some of your jobs are still running, this will update shortly. We are surprisingly, time has flown by, approaching time, but we'll try and check back in here before we've got to go.
Yeah. I want to get some more points on the time. No.
I want to get your impressions, Mike. What do you think of this? Oh yeah, we actually did lose this one.
Yep. Oh, and it increases. Oh no. It gets worse. All those lovely points we got for doing the right thing, they're going away. My impressions, I've never run played a game day before. I've never run an EMR serverless cluster before. This was a lot of fun, pretty cool to do this live with other folks, talk it through. I think if I was doing this on my own, it would have maybe taken longer. The combined brain power of James and myself, like we got there, and the chat, right? Like we all got some really good pointers. So I think, one of the biggest takeaways is like all what we do, software engineering, operations, cloud, everything, it's a team sport, right? We are better together than we are alone. So take that as you will, but like have fun working with a team. And it looks like we got more payloads there that should get auto launched if we did it right.
We should, but I'm not seeing a Lambda invocation.
Yep, there's an invocation,
Or is
4
that-
of them.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep. And they're kicking off Spark jobs.
So we should be seeing more Spark jobs coming in here, which we don't. Well, so that log that we just looked at might have been our manual invocations here. But I could have sworn. Yeah, because look, payload location.
Yeah, 2.
Payload location.
Yep.
And there are no new logs. Interesting. So something didn't work in our event notification that we set up.
Yeah. Would we see a CloudWatch event for an S3 notification?
Let's go back to our properties. We did turn on this event notification. And we
Is it payload or payloads? Did we screw that up?
You know, when you ask questions like that, Mike.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yep. Rule for your kids: double check your inputs and outputs.
Oh. Hey, you know, that's it's real life right there.
Yeah.
You know, let me edit that.
So this event would never fire because there was never a prefix for that.
And now we have to go in and
Manually do,
which is fine
for 3.
because all we have to do is change this to 3 and do it backwards. That's 5.
This is what some might say is brute force.
4. I'm counting down, Mike, before we just end the stream right here. 3, 2. All right, and 1. Okay, so that will actually go kick off all the things. And now we have automated too. But we're still out here getting points. Look, we got 2 out of 11.
We got 2 out of 11. Yeah.
And now the logistics team is complaining that we haven't done 3 yet. But hey, we're on it, logistics team. Oh, look, how many points did we get for refining? 10,000 more points.
Yeah, we got a payload. Nice.
Okay, well, we gotta wrap things up. At least we fixed what we
our typo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our typo. Oh, let's call it.
Well, I mean, the good part here is that we have the facility to both kind of see the automation as it's supposed to happen. We have the manual kind of override. So like that's the escape hatch of, okay, we didn't catch number 3. But you know, we will catch number 4, right?
That's right. And as James put it, it was our mistake, our typo, because we're
human.
Well, we're all a collective here too. It wasn't just me typing. You were typing through me in spirit.
Absolutely.
Anyway, all right. If this is your first time watching us, welcome. Thank you for watching. Thanks for sticking around. It probably might be your first time since this is only our 2nd episode, but we'll be back with more episodes. We air on Wednesdays on all of the AWS On Air channels at 11 a.m. Pacific. Hopefully, Mike, you'll come back and play another game with us at some point. You know?
I don't know. This was a lot of fun. I'm sure that if you get the administrator online on how to log into that environment, we might have saved some time and been able to accomplish all of our stuff without losing points. So
maybe.
I would be curious to bring Mike back on and choose a quest in like a service that he's like super, strong on, see how fast we could like fly through it, and then have a backup because, it might only take 5 minutes to, to fill out the rest of the time. I'm kind of curious to see what that'd be like.
Yeah, I'm game.
All right. Mike, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you all for watching. We will be back in a few Wednesdays to come. Check the Twitch calendar for which Wednesdays we're on. Usually we'll do 2 Wednesdays a month. So be sure to go check that Twitch calendar. We'll have it updated with the right information. Check out all the shows on AWS NR. We've got Code Corner with me and Steve Roberts, where we teach you to code. We've got Startups with Jillian. We've got Security. We've got the Friday show as well. James and I will be hosting the Friday show. and we'll be talking with some very interesting service teams about some recent launches. But we got to run. So we'll catch you all next time. Thanks for sticking around. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.